Tonight, Caribbean Carnival festivities kick off with the King and Queen Showcase.
It's a platform where we get to see the carnival arts in all its splendor.
Mass bands showcase their incredible, elaborate costumes at Lamport Stadium, all representing different themes. Who will be crowned king and queen? Plus,
pulling the seats right to the edge of the outfield wall, raising the bullpens, creating decks and patios.
the Rogers Center is getting a massive $300 million makeover, the first major renovation in 33 years. What Jays fans can expect. And
I noticed that the fireworks are hitting people. A police officer almost got hit and jumped.
Police are investigating after someone set off fireworks inside Scotiabank Arena during the Dua Lipa concert. Good evening, I'm Kelda Yoon. It's a big party at Lamport Stadium tonight. After 2 years of virtual celebrations, the Caribbean Carnival is back in person this year, and festivities kicked off tonight with the King and Queen Showcase. Our Dale Manukduk is live at Lamport Stadium. And Dale, so many amazing costumes being showcased tonight, and it looks like the party is still going on.
Kelda, it has been an incredible night of pageantry, culture, and storytelling. And the party is still going, as you mentioned. The last participant of the King's competition just took the stage. We're backstage right now where they're breaking down lots of the costumes of people who participated. But while the vibes have been fun and the energy is high, there is still a very strong sense of competition here. The vibes at Lamport Stadium are back.
It's very draining, especially today with the wind, which is like pushing against the costume, and like it's all metal bars, it's all tons of fabric and glitter, so it's very, very heavy.
Elise Rupchas is one of over 50 performers in costumes that can weigh hundreds of pounds. She and other contestants are being judged on creativity and authenticity, craftsmanship, and presentation. Nicole Brand knows what it takes to win. She's the 2019 Queen of the Bands, the last time the competition was held here.
2 years off, it's been long, and I'm ready to get back at it. We have obviously our title and our name to defend.
Brand is also competing for Arnold Hughes, whose costume she's worn for over 30 years. Hughes passed away in 2020.
He has been influential in the carnival community in Toronto, and even he's done work in New Orleans, he's done work in Calgary, he's done work all over.
To win, she'll have to get past 12 masquerade bands. It's a thrilling comeback for the King and Queen Showcase.
This event is very special because we do have the parade where these costumes do get to, go down the road and show everybody all the beauty. But tonight is a night just for the costumes.
And the crowd was loving every second of it.
Very good, very good, very good.
What do you like so much about it?
Everything. I like the costume, I love them. USA!
Do you come all the time?
I try to. COVID. Didn't come during COVID.
Even Toronto Mayor John Tory was feeling the vibe, but not without a sales pitch to those visiting the city.
There is an absolute obligation if you come from anywhere outside of the city of Toronto. That includes Ajax. I met people from Ajax, from Brampton. You have to spend a lot of money while you're here because Toronto needs the help. You all know that. But especially with those American dollars. You just lay those down on the counter and just pretend they're worth exactly the same.
So, Kelda, we don't know who've won the 4 categories, female individual, male individual, king or queen, because the Kings just finished. We should find out soon. But for anyone who didn't get a chance to come down to Lamport Stadium and see these unbelievable costumes, you can see them at the Grand Parade on Saturday, Kelda.
yeah, those costumes, just incredible. Thanks so much, Dale. That's our Dale Manukduk live for us tonight. Some major changes are coming to the Rogers Center. The Blue Jays announcing today a $300 million renovation plan that will see the venue transformed for the first time in more than 3 decades. The team says it will happen in 2 phases, with work starting immediately following this season. Greg Ross has the details.
Construction will begin as early as October, with plans to convert the outfield stands from this to this.
First step being the outfield, pulling the seats right to the edge of the outfield wall, raising the bullpens, creating decks and patios.
No longer will there be space between the top of the outfield wall and the seats, and the Jays are also bringing relief pitchers closer to fans. The bullpens will be raised up with seats positioned all the way around.
The Yankee relievers may not get quite the reception that hopefully our guys will get, but yeah, the bullpens will look like they're in the stands, and they'll have fans on the sides of them and on top of them.
The upper deck bleachers are also getting a facelift.
Tearing out the 500 level outfield seats that very rarely, if ever, get sold or used, and building unique kind of a rooftop patio feeling up there. So it's creating a lot of unique spaces, less nightclub and more kind of rooftop bar, rooftop patio. Think of like the coolest rooftop spaces in all of Toronto in the summer that are just a great place to be when the roof's open.
Phase 1 of the renovation will also see the start of some new player-friendly facilities.
The biggest thing we're going to do this offseason is build a weight room that's closer to the one that they're used to down in Florida.
And that is welcome news for players who plan to be back.
Yeah, I mean, it's exciting. Obviously, I think, that these are great facilities to start with, but the fact that it's going to get upgraded is awesome. I think it shows the organization's, commitment to us as a team.
Right now, it's not bad, but not a lot of fan interaction, you know what I mean? So that's definitely going to be a big bonus.
Phase 2 of this plan is scheduled to begin following the 2023 season, and a big part of that phase will be redeveloping all of these seats that surround the infield in the lower level. They say they're going to tear out all of these seats, and when they're finished, they say they're going to bring the seats closer to the action. Greg Ross, CBC News, Toronto.
Concert goers were left startled at the Dua Lipa show last night when someone set off fireworks among the large crowd inside Scotiabank Arena. Police now trying to find out who was responsible. Clara Pasica has more.
A high-energy crowd of Dua Lipa fans were nearing the end of her concert at Scotiabank Arena when the night took an unexpected turn. Fireworks were set off into the crowd. Concert goer Kulin Machar says few initially realized it wasn't all just part of the show.
Yeah, the moment I saw it, I'm like, oh my God, fireworks. This is so cool. Let me pull up my phone to grab a moment of the fireworks. Then after while grabbing it, I noticed that the fireworks are hitting people.
Andrew Stokes could see the scene unfold from the 300 level.
I knew something was wrong because I work in production, and I knew that that's not the way fireworks would go off. They were shooting in all these different directions and very almost downwards versus upwards.
Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment, who manages Scotiabank Arena, confirmed the fireworks set off into the crowd and responsible for at least 3 minor injuries attended to by on-site paramedics were unauthorized and illegal. Stokes says the incident won't stop him from going to concerts, but it did rattle him.
It's scary because you don't know what could happen. Like with Ariana Grande and the bombing in the UK, that was huge, and I think that's in the back of everybody's mind now, and especially just the world right now. It's it's scary. So at first I was a little bit shaken, and I had a weird feeling when I was walking out.
He says he's grateful nobody panicked this time, which could have led to other dangerous situations as many tried to leave at once. Toronto Mayor John Tory says he wants to see jail time for the perpetrators.
I can't even think of more irresponsible behavior than setting off fireworks in a crowded arena when it's in the dark for a concert. And I hope that the public will cooperate because somebody knows who did this.
This incident is now the subject of a police investigation. Police are looking at video footage and asking anyone with more information to come forward. Clara Pasica, CBC News, Toronto.
Homicide detectives are investigating the city's latest murder. Police were called to a home in the Victoria Park and Donside Drive area early this morning for reports of an assault. Officers located a woman with life-threatening injuries. She later died in hospital. The victim has now been identified as 49-year-old Evdokia Giapoutsis. Her brother, 37-year-old Chris Giapoutsis, has now been charged with second-degree murder in her death. Police have charged 28 people in Ontario and Saskatchewan for the theft of hundreds of vehicles. Now, among those arrested, Service Ontario employees accused of organizing illegitimate registrations for resale.
From Project Myra's investigation has resulted in the dismantling of a number of sophisticated networks with over $12 million in stolen vehicles recovered and 242 charges laid.
The project started in September 2020 and involved multiple police services across Ontario and in Saskatoon. Honda and Acura accounted for 37% of the vehicles recovered. Dahlia Ashry joins us now with a first look at the forecast. And Dahlia, a bit of rain earlier today. The big question, will we still need our umbrellas as we head into the long weekend?
Well, Kelda, yeah, you're right. You did need it today, and you might just need to keep it around for the next day or so. But you probably won't really need it that much anyways. I mean, we have the possibility of some wet conditions, some scattered showers tomorrow, a risk of a thunderstorm as well. But the long weekend, that's when there's light at the end of the tunnel. The daytime highs for today, 29 degrees with that humidex. It felt like it was 30 and above. Windsor, 29. That's the hot spot in their region, along with St. Catharines. And like we were saying, there was that humidex, but there was also that rain. So as you can see, just clearing up, going into Friday morning, mostly clear skies. You might get a little bit of precipitation, some scattered showers, about 30% chance. So for the most part, you're pretty good. Saturday, 7 a.m., some overcast, but mostly clear as you head into Sunday. Beautiful conditions as well. Tonight cools down 15 degrees. Tomorrow afternoon, that's when it's 27 and it feels more like 29. And like we were saying, you might just want to keep those umbrellas handy.
Thanks so much, Dahlia. Bowmanville Hospital is temporarily relocating its intensive care unit due to significant staffing shortage. Now, in a statement, Lakeridge Health says the decision was not made lightly, adding the goal is to bring back critical care services to Bowmanville Hospital when staffing stabilizes. Now, for now, services will be consolidated to the Ajax, Pickering, and Oshawa hospitals. Efforts to vaccinate our youngest against COVID-19 are now underway. The province's vaccine portal is now open for appointments for children between 6 months and 5 years old. Ali Chiasson reports.
As of today, children as young as 6 months to 5 years can get their kids' dose of Moderna.
My wife and I both have all 4 shots. The older daughter has both. And now my younger daughter will be protected as well. And it's just to have the protection. I know it's not perfect. She might still get COVID, but to have the protection and reduce the risk of long COVID.
It's a huge milestone in the overall fight against COVID-19.
The new variants allowed the virus to spread rapidly amongst kids. And so now is the time to act.
Dr. Douglas Campbell is the Deputy Chief of Pediatrics at St. Michael's Hospital. He's seen eager parents and hesitant parents.
For some people, it's still this sense that COVID is just a cold for kids. And so, why not let them get it naturally and that's better, which is actually not true. Thankfully, most kids do sort of have minimal symptoms, for 5 to 10 days, but some get really, really sick and some die. And I think we can't forget that. Never mind the after effects, the long COVID. And a lot of COVID, research is now focusing on that. We still don't have all the answers, but kids especially can get long COVID. So there's lots of reasons why to prevent this in the children themselves.
All right, so you've booked your kid in for one of the 2,000 available appointments in the city, but how do you make it as comfortable as possible for you and your little one? Depends on the age.
So with young infants, that's the best thing to do is to bring them in for that calm, close cuddle before, during, and after that vaccination to soothe them.
With preschoolers, don't try to pull a fast one on them.
Be honest. Don't spring it on them. Oh, they think they're going to the park and then they're going to get a needle. Don't be doing that. Come talk to them a few days before casually, as you're doing something else. Tell them they're going to get a needle and answer their questions. Is it going to hurt? Yeah, but, no more than a little pinch and it's so quick. A reward is always great as well.
A trip to get an ice cream or something.
Ice cream is great, and parents get it too. So
we will find a way to get a freezie or ice cream or basically whatever they want. I mean, if they want a pony, today's the day to ask for it. So
it might also be helpful to know that the side effects adults tend to experience after receiving a COVID vaccine are much, much milder in children. Ali Chiasson.
Welcome back. Dozens of Airbnb hosts in Toronto and their guests are scrambling after their bookings for the year were abruptly canceled by the company. Hosts are frustrated with Airbnb, saying instead of helping them, the company is giving them the runaround. Angelina King has more.
Brandon Wall has been renting out his basement on Airbnb for 6 years without any issues. But last week, all his reservations for the year were suddenly canceled and his listing taken down.
Well, right now I'm trying to get everyone rebooked.
He spent hours trying to help his guests while attempting to sort out the issue with the City of Toronto and Airbnb.
All these guests are being hung out to dry. And
like Sandra Schott, who had 2 reservations canceled in a row by Airbnb.
I started to look at hotels in the downtown area, and they were just, it wasn't feasible. So we ended up staying at a hotel in North York.
The City of Toronto says it recently received nearly 100 inquiries from hosts who had all their bookings canceled. Turns out a minor discrepancy, mostly in the way their addresses were inputted with the city versus their Airbnb profile, caused the problem. That led to registered hosts being flagged during city audits. Their profiles were sent to Airbnb, who automatically canceled all their bookings. Wall says the company should have contacted hosts first.
it would save them work. They wouldn't have to rebook all this stuff and deal with all these refunds. They wouldn't have to deal with angry hosts, angry guests. It would just be easier all around.
While Wall is honoring the initial rate, some of his rebooked guests are having to pay more after Airbnb increased some fees for the same reservation. Laura King and her partner had to pay an extra $60.
And Airbnb are saying that there's nothing that they can do about it. This was the first time we've ever used Airbnb. So it did obviously cause a little bit of drama.
Some hosts CBC Toronto spoke with had all their reservations cancelled more than once after rebooking guests, something Wall is afraid of.
I can't imagine having to do it again. It was extremely overwhelming.
Airbnb is essentially putting the onus on the city, is saying that's who controls the enforcement of registrations, but the company did say it's still trying to find a solution. Angelina King, CBC News, Toronto.
And you are looking at a live shot of the Toronto skyline, mostly clear tonight with a few fog patches developing overnight. Currently, it is 23 degrees in the city. Let's go back to Dahlia now. And Dahlia, some potential rain tomorrow, but the long weekend looking pretty good.
That's right, Kelda. I mean, for the most part, it was raining, but we do have some light at the end of the tunnel, some good news, and lots of festivals happening this weekend, too, which we'll get into in a second. So keep your umbrellas handy. Maybe a risk of a thunderstorm tomorrow. Might just be lightning for the most part, but 30% chance of scattered showers. But that long weekend, that's when you're going to want to spend it outdoors. The daytime highs for today in Toronto, 29 degrees. Winds are 29 as well, but the humid X really brought up that heat, making it feel like above 30. Now, in terms of rain, like we were talking about, there is a chance that there might be some scattered showers tomorrow, Friday, 8 a.m. On your way to work, mostly clear skies. By 3 p.m. is when you see a little bit of that rain peeking through, but for the most part, it's looking great. Saturday is when we see the clouds starting to peek through in the morning, but then that just clears up, and that's when that lovely sunshine is going to kick in, which is wonderful for anyone who's heading over to the Caribbean Carnival this weekend. And on Saturday evening, again, beautiful, clear night. So if you're going to be out, well, you're going to have a chance to enjoy that. Overnight tonight, 15 degrees. It's going to cool down, and there is about 40% chance of showers, which will carry through until tomorrow. But like we were saying, it's not going to stick around for too long. Tonight, temperatures drop overall in the Golden Horseshoe. So Toronto, 15 degrees, Hamilton, 13, St. Catharines, 16 overall. 40% chance of showers. Now, looking at that 5-day forecast, look at that. We have the Caribbean Carnival on Saturday, beautiful sunshine, and we have the heat starting to pick up Sunday and Monday as you go back to work. But Tuesday, when we start to see that rain again, which, you know what, the plants need a little bit of sunshine, a little bit of rain. Growth for everyone is always nice. So keep that umbrella nearby and enjoy the weekend. Kelda?
Sounds great. Thanks so much, Dahlia. For one Ukrainian university student, being able to turn to the apps on her phone as she hid in a bomb shelter made her realize how powerful technology can be. Drawing on that experience, she's now created a robot to help alleviate anxiety through a Canadian research internship. Talia Ricci has more.
My name is Zenbo, and I am stand with Ukraine.
He can follow you, snap a photo.
Hey Zenbo, take a picture.
Okay.
And sing a song.
It's playing like Ukrainian national anthem, which is like very important for Ukrainians.
But most of all, Irena Parkomchuk hopes her robot makes people happy.
It's not like for industry or anything like that. It's like a personal robot that like children can like play with it, or it can like communicate with person. It can like remind person something. It's like a friend, family member, or something like that.
It was the Ukrainian student's personal experience living in a war zone that inspired the idea of using robots as a mental health aid.
It started like when I was hiding in a shelter in my dorm. Then when I was like with my father at their home, we were also hiding like in shelter. And I was like just like sitting with my phone and like play video games or something like this, just like to escape from everything. I'm really into psychology, and I was like, okay, I think robots can help like people with like some kind of mental illness or mental problem, like to improve mental health.
The robot is also programmed with meditation and breathing exercises to help people relax. Parkomchuk is one of several Ukrainian students taking part in the MyTax Global Link research internship program across Canada. She worked with Professor Patrick Hung at Ontario Tech University in Oshawa.
As a professor, it helps us a lot to recruit the talent from overseas and also bring us new ideas and also teach us another culture. And we bring some new ideas to our future. This is what number one goal. Number two goal would be, like Irina, if she would come back to study for her master's degree in the future.
That's the student's hope. She also plans to continue exploring how to use technology to improve mental health.
I want to have my master's degree also in Canada, in this university, and I want to make another kind of application, not for robots, but for like mobile smartphones or for laptops, so people can like use these, not if they don't have robots or something like that, they can use these applications, they can like use it with some smartphone and like feel more relieved, less stressed.
Talia Ricci, CBC News, Toronto.
And that's our show for you tonight. Thank you so much for watching. Dwight Drummond has your next local newscast tomorrow at 6. I will see you back here tomorrow night at 11. And we'll leave you with more of the sights and sounds from tonight's Carnival King and Queen Showcase at Lamport Stadium. Have a great night, everyone.